Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you're a subscriber. My name's Neil, and it's time for another episode of Lost. Guys, I just finished watching episode 10, the 23rd Psalm. Got Echo's backstory, really interesting, tying in with the Beechcraft, Charlie's heroine, lots of questions. And so I'm a little surprised that we're jumping right into the flashbacks of the Tailies, but I love that we are because we're learning so much about them. They're really being fleshed out as characters. We already know so much about the survivors from season 1 that there's really a lot of work to do to build up these new characters and make them as interesting and as compelling as the characters we've had a season and a half to get to know. So maybe we get more information about Libby today. Maybe we get more about Bernard, and presumably if we get Bernard, we'd get Rose as well. That'd be really cool. You know, I've already shared my thoughts on Charlie and what seems to me like an imminent downward spiral, and I can't imagine that he's got this giant stash of heroin that it doesn't become a habit for him again at some point, and probably some point soon. So I'll hate to see that, but I feel like it's inevitable that lapse that sends him on a downward path again. And we've got Michael having conversations with what appears to be Walt over the computer. We don't know that it's Walt for sure, but Michael's convinced it is. And he's learning to shoot. Clearly he's biding his time until he can come rescue Walt. Now, in the last episode, his conversation with Walt was interrupted by Jack. We didn't quite get to see all of Walt's last line, but it looked like "you have to come get me," or at least it was starting that way, if I remember correctly. So I can't imagine Michael's going to wait too long before trying to track his son down, but where is he? We don't know. We can assume that it's somewhere on the island. We can assume that it's at another station, this one under other control, but where is it? Who knows? These bunkers aren't typically easy to find. We stumbled across the hatch and took forever to get into it. The Tailies stumbled across Arrow Station and it was gutted and empty, except for that one trunk. So how do you, and the island's huge, we know this, we know the island is massive, so how do you find another underground station? That seems like a tall task, so we need more information before we can go hunting for Michael. But we're halfway through the season almost, guys. We're in November sweeps. These are the big episodes that get the big that get a big push by the network. They want big ratings. This is usually where big stuff happens. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a big episode, something big drops. I don't know what it's going to be, obviously, but Lost is really good at dropping the big surprises, and it's been a little while. You know, it's been since episode 6 when Shannon got shot. You know, we've just sort of been acclimating to the new social dynamics. We're integrating the Tailies into Survivorville. You know, Ana Lucia got herself a grilled fish. Libby and Hurley are smiling at each other. Echo and Charlie, you know, had their big episode last episode. So things have calmed down a little bit until inevitably something else big happens. So I wouldn't be surprised if that comes soon. I am hoping that this is a relatively quiet recording. My neighbors across the hall have gutted the apartment to the studs, and they're doing a complete renovation. So things get noisy occasionally there. Hopefully it's not too distracting, and we'll just cross our fingers for that. So let's jump into it. This is episode 11 of season 2, and it's called The Hunting Party.
If you look here and here, you can see it's eroding into the spinal artery in the hell.
Another Jack flashback.
He says you don't need to talk in whispers. He knows he doesn't have a chance. He wants to know why you won't try.
What he is looking for is a miracle.
I did not come all this way for you, sir. I came for him.
Really?
You fixed the woman with a crushed spinal column. An impossible surgery. And now she walks, yes? A miracle, right?
So people think Jack's a miracle worker now. Okay. Of course he'll
I'll
try.
have to admit him in the next couple of weeks. Run some tests.
What was that? I'm surprised more people aren't fighting over the bunk beds. They look pretty comfy.
John.
Whoa.
Stay. Michael, what are you
Whoa.
in there, Jack?
Chill, Michael. What the heck?
Going on?
Look, I'm going after my son.
There's another way to go
Get
about
in
it.
the damn room!
You're gonna shoot me, Michael?
No, of course not.
No, but I'll shoot your damn computer. And that thing is not what you think it is anyway. You don't understand, man. I have to do it alone.
How much more has Michael learned from Walt? Man, he's frantic right now. Are they locked in there?
What happened?
Michael knocked you out. You want to tell me why you let Michael in here?
He wanted a gun for shooting practice. We're on shift for the next 4 hours. There's nobody coming down here.
Yeah. Better hope Sawyer shows up to get his Band-Aid changed.
Doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Come on, it's time to go get your bandages changed.
Well, why can't you do it for me?
Because I'm not your nurse.
Well, the arm's not going yet.
Creeps me out.
You get used to it.
25, got it.
Howdy, boys.
What are you doing, Jack?
We're going after him.
25, 29, 40. Is that what I heard? Are these new numbers we have to pay attention
Michael went
to?
after Walt.
Coming with you.
Sawyer might actually be one of Michael's best friends, so it's worth doing.
I have a confession to make. I don't believe in miracles.
Yeah. Guess I'm not too sure about them either.
I bet your wife feels differently.
Hey. Sorry to wake you. Sarah, I'm sorry. I meant to...
That's the price of being a miracle worker.
What did he miss on? Just date night, or was it something more, even more important? Yeah, they're falling apart.
You got a gun for me?
You're not coming.
Excuse me?
You're not coming. Someone has to be here to take care of the button.
He cares about her. He doesn't want her to get hurt. That's my interpretation, anyway. What's yours? Or is he punishing her?
What'd she do? She didn't do anything. Right. Why don't you go back and see if I hurt her feelings? Just saying. I know. You love her. What'd you say? He's not going back to where you came from. He's heading somewhere else.
So what does he know?
필요 없어.
알아요. 그래도 그냥 쓰고 있어요.
무슨 일이 있나 봐.
I guess Michael took off. Said he was going after Walt.
Yeah, he knows that word. So are Jin and Kate gonna be the next team?
친구라면 따로 잡을 수 있을 거야.
당신 아무데도 못 가요. 못 간다니까? 여기서 한 발짝도 움직이지 마.
Michael's his best friend.
마이클은 내 친구야.
Yeah,
나는 당신 아내예요.
yeah. Impossible choices. But yeah, that's the choice you got to make.
Trail's as straight as the interstate. The path of a man who knows where he's going. Well, let's say we catch up with him. Michael, what are you going to do?
Help him.
I'm gonna bring him back.
What if he doesn't want to come back?
What, you think we should just let him go? Write him off?
Help him.
Who are we to tell anyone what they can or can't do?
Yeah, we get to that line again and again.
Have you changed your mind, Jack?
No.
Something's gonna happen with her.
Even if you don't succeed, you're giving us a chance. That's all we wanted.
Careful. There's a line, son. You know it's there.
Guess you would know.
May be okay for some people, Jack, but not for you.
That's not at them. That's
Michael! Jack, get out! Michael! Jack!
Jack, John, and James.
Shell casings. How many?
3. Michael's.
You boys deaf? I heard at least 7 shots.
7 sounds about right.
So who else was shooting?
Dark. Which way might go? You out here for Michael, or just payback for getting shot? Why you out here, Doc?
He's the shepherd. He's the leader.
You got your reasons, and I got mine.
Jack!
I had it.
I know, son.
Failed surgery.
His heart gave out. It's nobody's fault.
Gotta go tell her.
Yeah, well, I've already done that.
Jack, thank you for trying. It's okay.
No. Come on, Jack.
I can't.
I think we better head back.
What? Just find the trail, John.
I've lost the trail.
You don't just lose a trail.
Just don't want to find them.
Don't turn around on me, John.
You're not going to get him to come back, and you know it.
You know what happens if we just turn around and go back? We're never gonna see him again. And that's gonna be on us.
You're exactly right, Jack.
What?
But if I were you, I'd listen to Mr. Locke.
Is that the guy from the boat? Who is he? Sounds almost like his dad, but it's not. But
Who are you?
He's the son of a bitch who shot me on the raft.
Why don't you point the gun down?
whoa.
Where's Michael?
Don't worry about Michael.
What do you want?
Why don't you build us a fire, John?
He knows their names.
I think it's time we all had a talk.
Is that just from Walt or what? Who is he? Like, these are like proper others now. Conversation time.
So what do you think's the story with that Libby chick? I mean, the classic desert island scenario. If I ever had a shot, this is it.
This music is quite depressing.
We can change it, dude. You ever
No.
hear of Geronimo Jackson?
I'm afraid not. Where's Jack and Locke?
Oh, they went after Michael.
Just sit down, Jack. Nobody gonna hurt you. I come in peace.
You took Walt.
Walt's fine. He's a very special boy. You go over a man's house for the first time. You walk in the kitchen and eat food that doesn't belong to you. Open the door to rooms you got no business opening. This is not your island. This is our island. And the only reason you're living on it is because we let you live on it.
I don't believe you. I think there's more of us than there are of you.
It's an interesting theory. Light 'em up!
Jesus.
We got a misunderstanding, Jack. You cross that line, we go from misunderstanding to something else.
Who is this guy?
Give me your weapons. Turn around. Go home.
Jack, maybe.
No!
Bring her out, Alex!
Her? Oh, did they catch Kate?
Like I said, curiosity.
Killed the Kate.
Can you live with the fact that I shot this woman right in front of you? And you could have saved her life by giving up and going home? Or you gonna give me your guns? Turn around, walk away. It's
Man.
your call, Jack. One,
Of course he's gonna do it. He's gonna give up.
two.
He has to.
Stop.
They have to.
You and me ain't done, Zeke.
Zeke.
Jack,
You all right?
Okay. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful sunrise.
사람들은 돌아왔어요?
아직 이래라 저래라 하는 거 내가 제일 싫어하는 거 알지?
Nobody likes it on this show.
지난 4년 동안 난 항상 그렇게 살아왔어요. 당신이 싫은 것처럼 나도 싫어.
Yep. A little payback. A little turnabout is fair
당신은
play.
그랬을 거야.
See what happens when you actually talk. You can sort stuff out and understand each other. More characters on this show need to do that. More people need to talk to each other.
I was just trying to help, Jack. I made a mistake. Could you just talk to me for a second? I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm sorry, too.
You don't have to do it.
It's therapeutic. Cheaper than a shrink.
How did the daughter take it?
She kissed me. I kissed her back. I made a mistake, and this is my fault. It's my fault that you and me...
Man, he just demands perfection of himself.
Okay, I'm gonna fix this. We're gonna go back to the way things were. I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna fix this.
Man, he thinks he can fix everything. She can't even hug him.
I'm leaving you. I've been seeing someone. I can't stay. You will always need something to fix.
Yeah, she doesn't want to be the project.
Don't beat yourself up, Freckles. If you told me to stay behind, I'd done the same damn thing.
Yeah, it's your own fault, Charlie. You can't be mad at Locke for it.
Here you were out looking for Michael.
Orange means love on this show. Orange bottle.
Is it true that you killed one of them?
The others. Yep. And Echo killed too.
Saeed tells me that you're a cop. Can I ask you something?
Shoot.
How long do you think it would take to train an army?
Wow. Jack's planning on war. Because that's basically what that was. That was a declaration of war, wasn't it? Okay. Stuff is happening. I love what the show does is because it gives you new information, but it doesn't give you answers. It doesn't give you answers right away. So we finally had a conversation with the others. We haven't spoken to the others since, well, I guess you could say Goodwin, but he was a spy, just like Ethan. And that's the only time we've spoken to one of the others, and they haven't been upfront about what their purpose is. They've been infiltrating, they've been lying, they've been covering their tracks, and instead now we get this new guy. Don't have a name for him yet, but clearly he seems to be at least their spokesman, if not their leader. And there's a bunch of them. They're well coordinated. They have torches that just go on and off at will, and it's a little film license there, but yeah, like they're an intimidating opposition, and they basically declared war. And yeah, our guys were able to walk out of there, but they had to surrender their guns, tails between their legs, and now the others are a proper threat. I like that last question. What would it take to train an army? Because that's what we're looking at. I mean, I know we still have weapons in the vault, but how much do we have? What do we have? It's interesting. Like this guy from the others, I don't know what to call him right now. I guess I'm calling him Zeke because that's the only thing he was called. Zeke says, when you show up at somebody's house for the first time, do you take off your shoes? Do you put your feet up on their coffee table? Do you go through rooms that you aren't supposed to? That was an allusion to the hatch, and yet why would the others not be using the hatch? Were they aware of Desmond? Was Desmond aware of them? I feel like they didn't know about the hatch. They didn't know about Swan Station. Maybe I'm wrong, but it just feels odd that if they're so powerful and call the whole island theirs, why were they not making use of the hatch? Very, very weird to me. But yeah, it does make you wonder, like, what's the relation? I got so many questions. Mind's racing right here. What's the relation of the others to the smoke monster? What's the relation of the others to the Whispers? The Whispers feel surreal, or is it really just the fact that the others are really good at camouflage and tracking? They had our guys completely surrounded without them even knowing it, even though Locke's supposed to be a pretty good tracker. They caught Kate, even though she's really capable in the woods. She's a tracker of her own, and they managed to take her captive. And where's Michael? Do the others have Michael? We know that there were multiple shots fired. Is he alive? Is he hurt? Do they have him, or did he get away? Did he happen to take out any of them? He's only just learned how to fire a gun, so I'd be a little surprised if he did, but who knows? And the others, they certainly seem to have Walt. It seems odd to me that Walt's got access to the computer, though, because the others seem very capable and organized, and you wouldn't just leave a kid unattended near a computer that you could reach out to others with. So I feel like Michael was manipulated. He knew exactly where he was going, so he must have been told in one of the conversations we didn't see on the computer about where Walt was. Michael had a plan. He knew exactly what he was doing, but I feel like he was led into a trap, and he's probably captive or dead right now. I'd be surprised if he were dead, because generally when you kill a main character, you kill them on screen. You don't kill them off screen when you barely hear it. You just losing that emotional impact is poor storytelling. So I'm holding out hope that Michael's still alive. Maybe he hasn't been captured yet. Who knows? But I have a bad feeling that he's out of the picture right now. So Jack wants to raise an army with Ana Lucia's help, presumably to go back and to get Michael and Walt, to rescue them. And is that what the season is building to? Is that going to be the season 2 climax? The survivors versus the others? It's a lot to build up to. We're basically halfway through the season, and more will definitely happen over the course of the season, I'm sure, but I feel like that's our major goal. Just like getting into the hatch was our major goal last season, maybe fighting the others is our major goal this year. Yeah, what a great episode. Really enjoying it. I'm beginning to really get a sense of the rhythm of the show. So it's not predicting what's going to happen, but predicting that something's going to happen. You sort of feel the ebb and flow of the episodes. Some of them are big and momentous new information. Others are catching our breath and getting used to the new normal. And the writers and the producers have done a really good job of sort of giving the show that room to breathe. So you can anticipate when something big like this episode can happen. Yeah, just a really good episode. I'm loving the show. I'm really loving how quickly it's evolving. Some shows you feel like you're stuck in a bit of a holding pattern where you're not sure where things are going, and you're not sure that the showrunners know where the show is going. They're just in a repetitive loop of a sort, and that's definitely not the case here. This is a show that has clear direction and momentum. It's moving with purpose, and that's really exciting. When a show has that much confidence in itself. I'm looking forward to you guys rejoining me in a few days to see the next reaction of mine. So until then, everybody, take care, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.